On this episode of Kemp Outside, we take a look at Turkey Run State Park Campground in Indiana. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos, and hit that like button for me. So we recently did a grand tour from our home in Florida all the way up to Cross Lake, Minnesota, and then on up to Big Bog State Recreation Area in Minnesota, way up in Waskish, which is in northern Minnesota, and then back home. So we did almost a 5,000 mile round trip. We camped along the way, spent some time in our lake cabin, and had an amazing time. So while we were on that trip, we stopped at Turkey Run State Park near Marshall, Indiana, which is just west of Indianapolis, just east of Champaign, Illinois. And Turkey Run State Park is an amazing park. It's one of the first outdoor dates my wife and I ever went on when we were students at Purdue University, and we haven't been back in like 20 plus years. So it was absolutely amazing to go and stay there and show our kids Turkey Run and hike the trails and climb the ladders and do all that stuff that Turkey Run is known for. And so today what I want to do is I want to do an overview of the campground at Turkey Run State Park. So Turkey Run State Park is the second state park in Indiana's state park system. So it's an older state park, but it's very popular. Gets a lot of visits every year. It has a large campground. So I thought I could bring this review to you so that if you have never stayed there before and you're trying to get a sense of what the campground is like, you can check out this video. Also, we're going to be releasing a Turkey Run State Park overview video, and we will also be bringing you our campsite review videos. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that whenever we go somewhere, we film the empty campsites and we put out each empty campsite as its own video on YouTube, so that when you are looking for sites, whether it's through the Reserve America system or any other campsite reservation system, if we've stayed there, we're gonna put the empty campsites out on YouTube so you can see those instead of trying to decide based on some dinky little photo on the reservation system. So be on the lookout for those. We're going to get those videos produced. I think we shot 75 empty campsites at Turkey Run, so we're going to have a lot of those coming. So with that, guys, again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe, and let's get started with the review of the campground. Turkey Run State Park is located west of Indianapolis. It's east of Champaign, Illinois, just north of Terre Haute, and is easily accessed from places as far away as Louisville, Cincinnati, and Chicago. Turkey Run State Park is a large state park with plenty to see and do, and amazing hiking trails. The campground is west of the main entrance on State Road 47, and it's a large campground. So the campground at Turkey Run State Park has a lot of amenities. There are places to get fresh water. There are multiple restrooms, both full-service restrooms with flush toilets, sinks and showers, as well as vault toilets. And then there's also a campground store, a couple of playgrounds, dump stations for RVs and camper trailers, and places to get rid of your trash. So with that, let's take a look at the amenities at Turkey Run State Park. As you can see from this map, there are plenty of places to get fresh water. Even though there are no freshwater hookups at each campsite, each red arrow indicates a freshwater spigot. There's also a fill station for RVs and camper trailers on this map, but it seemed to be under construction at the time, so I'm guessing that most RVers and camper trailer folks were using the water spigots. There are 3 full-service restrooms in Turkey Run State Park's campground. 2 in the Twin Oaks section and 1 in the Sugar Ridge section. The first one we're going to look at is the southernmost restroom in the Twin Oaks section. It is a full-service restroom with running water, showers, and sinks. The second one is the northern restroom in Twin Oaks, and it has the same facility capabilities as the southern restroom. And the last full-service restroom we're going to look at is the one over in the Sugar Ridge section, and it has parking in front of it, which makes it very convenient for campers who are camping a little far away from the restrooms. There are also 3 pit toilets available in Turkey Run State Park. One for each section, one in Sugar Ridge, one in Turkey Hollow, and one in the Twin Oaks section as indicated by the red arrows on the map. This is the vault toilet in the Turkey Hollow section. This is the one in the Twin Oaks section. And this one is the one that's in the Sugar Ridge section of the campground. There's also a nice camp store at Turkey Run State Park, and it has firewood for sale as well as food items and other essential camping gear you may have forgot at home. It's very conveniently located just east of the check-in station. Disposing of waste at Turkey Run State Park Campground is pretty easy. There are 2 dump station facilities for RVs and campers. The first one is right next to the Gatehouse, and this is a photo. So it's very easy to just pull your camper trailer or RV in there. And then right next to that pump out are the dumpsters. And this was the most disappointing aspect, I think, of this campground, was how trashy this area was on a regular basis. The second pump out station is up on the north end of the Twin Oaks section of the campground and is easily accessible. Now it's time to take a look at my youngest son's favorite part of the campground, and that's the playground area. This state park has 2 playground areas in the campground. The first one is over in the Twin Oaks section at the far northeast corner of the campground, with some nice playground equipment for kids of all ages. And the second campground playground is over in Sugar Ridge at the northwest corner of the campground. It has some tire swings and some climbing equipment and slides and this cute little log cabin that I think little kids would love to play in. There's also a really large grassy field next to this playground, which makes for a great place to toss the football, to throw some frisbees, or even set up some lawn games like, cornhole or something like that. And of course, this playground has plenty of swings to swing on, and my son just loved this playground. So the last thing I want to show you in our Turkey Run State Park campground overview is a driving tour. So what I do is I take my little GoPro and I set it up on the front windshield of the van, and I drive through the campground, and then I narrate it to give you an idea of what the campground is like. So at Turkey Run State Park, as you're going to see in the video, there are a lot of different types of campsites, from campsites in open fields to wooded area campsites, some large campsites, some small campsites. So take a driving tour with us and check it out. The first leg of our driving tour is going to take us from the main entrance past the Gatehouse and then up into the Twin Oaks campground area. So as we get rolling here, this is a nice entrance in case they're backed up. You're not hanging out on the main road. And it does split so that you can go on either side of the Gatehouse to check in. So as we pass the Gatehouse, if you go to the right, that's the camp store. We're going to go straight where we're going to pass the first set of campsites, which is 81 through 87. That's the restroom off to the left. That was the camper trailer fill station. I guess that they're letting you use the fillers, the regular water fountain spigots. Now we're heading up the main section. It's campsites 117 to 124 on the left, and 69 to 78 on the right. The majority of this campground section is large grassy open fields, but if you're on the outside of the loops, you do back up to some trees and can get some shade. As we continue on, we're passing campsites 111 through 114 on the left, and 67 and 68 on the right. And the one straight ahead of me right now is campsite 65. This is the next leg that we're going to take, where we're going to wind ourselves around in the Twin Oaks section. So we're going to pass campsites 105 through 108 on the left. On the right there is campsite 54. We have to watch out for these kids on bikes who clearly aren't paying attention. And we're going to hang a right here. That open campsite to my left there is campsite 24. We're going to head into this little loop off to the left. And in this loop are campsites 26 through 36. There's also a little extra parking area in this loop. This loop is nice because it's wooded with plenty of shade. And that's the restroom straight ahead of us. Okay, out of that loop, we're going to take a left, and then we're going to do the loop on the northeast corner of the Twin Oaks section of the campground. So we're going to hang a left here. If you go left, that would take you back into the loop that we just completed. And we're going to hang a left here and enter that loop. We are passing campsites 61 through 65 on the right, and campsites 56 through 60 on the left. As we come to the curve, on the right will be the playground, and straight ahead of us there, where the white truck is, you can see the pump out station for the RVs and campers. As we come around the corner, on the left are campsites 46 through 50, and on the right will be campsites 38 through 44. Okay, so now we're going to head back down out of Twin Oaks Campground towards Shady Lane. So we turn a left out of that little loop that we just did. If you turn left there, that'll go back to that loop, but we're going to turn right. And as we do so, campsites 105 through 108 will be on our left, and campsite 54 will be on our right again, as well as the restroom. As we pass the intersection, we have a long straight where we're going to pass campsites 92 through 104 on our left, and campsites 7 through 22 on the right. And this road will take us down to the Shady Lane section of the campground. This section of Twin Oaks is a little more shaded, but as you can see, it's still pretty wide open. We're approaching the full-service restroom on the left. But there isn't much area to park. Okay, so we're going to take a right into the Shady Lane loop and work our way around. As we enter Shady Lane, site 174 is going to be on our right, and site 157 on our left. Inside this loop are campsites 157 through 183. These sites offer a little more seclusion, a little more privacy, a lot more shade. I really like this little section of the campground. So we've now completed the loop, and we're heading back out to the main road. Okay, so the next step is to hang a right, go past the dumpsters and the dump station, and head into the Turkey Hollow section of the campground. So we turn right there. That should be campsite number 4. If you turn left, that's access to the dump station, and we've now entered the Turkey Hollow section. On our right are campsites 184 through 198, and on the left is campsites 185 through 200. On the right there is one of the pit toilets. And as we pass campsite 200, there's a little dip in the road. And once we get past this little ravine, we're going to continue with campsites 203 to 230 on the right, and on the left, campsites 202 to 257. This is another really nice shaded area of the campground. The sites are pretty large and there's good space in between them. So on the left is a little loop with sites 266 to 270. And we're going to continue on up through the remainder of Turkey Hollow. On the left up there is the other full-service restroom facility. And as you can see, there's some parking in front of that restroom, which makes it handy if your campsite is pretty far away from the full-service restrooms. We're going to come back to that little spur on the right and cover it on the way back down. So we've now entered the Sugar Ridge section of the campground. And at this intersection here, we're going to turn right. So the Sugar Ridge section has a little loop at the northern end of it that's partly in grassy field and then partly in a wooded area. And this section of the road is one way. So on the right, we're passing campsites 231 through 241, and on the left-hand side is 242 through 249. And I also like this section of the campground. I guess what it really comes down to is I really like shade, and I like to have a little bit of space between myself and my neighbors, and I like a little bit of vegetation between campsites for some privacy. My son, on the other hand, my youngest son, loves to be social when camping, and so he really wishes we got a campsite in the open fields where he could go visit all the neighbors. So as we come around the loop, there's the pit toilet here in the Sugar Ridge section, and there's a little extra parking facility. And then on the left, we're passing campsites 252 through 254. And as we go up the hill a little bit, we're going to come back into the grassy field. We're going to pass campsites 250 and 251 on the left, and campsites 255 and 256 on the right. And then off to the right there is that large grassy field with the playground. So now we're going to head south through the remainder of Sugar Ridge. We're going to take that little spur into that loop, and then we're going to travel back through the Turkey Hollow section. There's the restroom up ahead on the right, and we're going to turn left into this little spur that has campsites 219 through 229. Again, this is a nice little spur that has plenty of shade and nice big sites inside the woods. As we come around the loop, we're going to head back out. There's the restroom again, straight ahead, just to the left. We're going to turn left heading south. Rather than getting caught up in a little traffic jam here, we're going to continue to move south down into the Turkey Hollow section of the campground. So we're passing campsites 261 to 202 on the right and 218 to 203 on the left. And there's the little loop again that has campsites 266 through 270. And we head back into the woods towards that little ravine we already came through. Only this time, as we make our way through the ravine, I had to make a little stop. And right there, I don't know if you could see it, but there was a box turtle in the middle of the road, which was really cool. So I helped him move him off into the wooded area, and hopefully he'll stay out of the road. What a cool little animal to experience while on my drive. Passing campsite 200 on the right, and we are going from 200 to 185 on the right, and 198 to 184 on the left, passing the pit toilet again on the left. The DNR staff were there cleaning it out as I drove by. And as we head up to the Twin Oaks section of the campground, you're going to see the dump station for the RVs and camper trailers on the right there. And then passing the dumpsters. I think there were like 7 of those dumpsters in the park when we were there. And you have to take your trash to the dumpster. You can't just leave it at the site. Unfortunately, some people didn't realize that. There's the Gatehouse and the main entrance, and that is a loop of Turkey Run State Park Campground. So as you can see from that driving tour, Turkey Run State Park's campground has a little bit of everything. And so when you're making reservations there, you're definitely going to want to decide what kind of campsite you like. So for us, we like being in the woods, we like shade, we like a little bit of seclusion, as I think I mentioned in the drive. And so the kind of the open field campsites really aren't for us so much, but other people really like those, or it's great if you have big groups. So, be mindful of that. There were a few disappointing things from camping there, which were kind of a bummer. And the first one was the trash. There were a lot of dumpsters, but it just didn't seem to be enough. And there was always trash overflowing and on the ground. And then, some campers actually left their trash when they left. They didn't take it to the dumpster. So we stopped at a campsite and actually cleaned up a campsite. Just because I hated seeing the trash sitting there. And somebody once said, I have no idea who said it, but I agree with it. It says, not my trash, but it is my planet. So we cleaned it up. So guys, don't be that kind of camper. If you create trash, throw it away or haul it out or whatever you got to do. So we were disappointed a little bit in the trash situation. And then the other thing that really kind of bummed me out was our campsite was pretty close to the highway, and so we could hear the highway noise. When we're trying to sleep at night, having a big rig truck going down the highway created quite a bit of noise. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but hey, it happens. But other than that, guys, Turkey Run State Park is an amazing state park. We had an absolute blast. We loved our campsite. It was nice and big, shady. We had a great time. So if you haven't stayed at Turkey Run State Park and you're close to there, definitely make it a priority to stop there this summer. And if you're passing through, they say Indiana is the crossroads of America. So if you're passing through, it's not that far off the highway there from Indianapolis. So definitely stop and at least do some day hikes on the trails. They're amazing. So guys, thank you so much for watching Kemp Outside. We really appreciate it. We would love if you would connect with our other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. And especially if you're a mom or a dad who wants to take their kids camping, fishing, hiking, that's what Kemp Outside is all about. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learning about nature, and developing a conservation ethic. We live for that. So if there's anything I can do to help you, if you have questions about any of that stuff, if you're trying to figure out how to get started, if you want to know what kind of gear to buy, all that stuff, drop me a message in the comments. I'd love to get in touch with you. Or you can connect with me on my other social media. Like I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. All of those links are down in the description below, or you can just search Kemp Outside. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me so much in bringing this content to you. I love doing it. I love connecting with you guys. So with that, we will see you next time on Kemp Outside. Thanks for watching.